It's talking about Western hegemony and the clash with Islam. Because President Nixon said, communism is not the enemy of democracy. The enemy of democracy is fundamentalist Islam. Now, if you don't see yourself as a fundamentalist, you're saying, oh, it's those people. No, brother. It's you too. If you believe in this book, Quran, it's only a matter of time before the Quran is ignited in your heart, in your soul. They don't trust anybody that believes in Allah, whether you are passive or active. They hope to keep you passive, but they all know that one day you will become active. Now listen. Everybody all right? Look, now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us that we, black people in America, were absolutely friendless. Our natural family in Africa, our natural family of Muslims, we were cut off from them. And the only person that we had to look to as a friend was any benevolent white person who acted like he was a friend. We were friendless. For 300 years, chattel slavery, and the Caucasian Christian locked the book, Bible. I'm glad that the Pope is asking for forgiveness for the sins of the church. He mentioned the native people. He didn't mention us. But the so-called Christians that robbed our fathers of their name, their language, their culture, their religion, their history, their God. The church was in full force. There was no pope to speak for us. The Anglican church fathers didn't speak on our behalf. We were all looking for a friendly white face. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us, Islam would make friends for us all the way around the earth. He said Islam, the natural religion of the human being, with Muslims all over the world, once you became a Muslim, you would have all of this as your family. But a family poisoned by racism, poisoned by white supremacy, poisoned by Arab supremacy. Because God chose the Arabs to bring to us the Holy Quran, to the world. And I can say with joy in my heart that I thank Allah for the Arabs, for no matter what their faults and their shortcomings are, the book, Quran, today is as pure as it was the day Allah revealed it to his servant. There is no book on this earth that can claim such purity. So no matter what errors or mistakes the Arabs have made, that is one they did not make, and because of that, Allah said through the Prophet, or the Prophet said, pardon me, he heard the footsteps of Bilal. going into paradise ahead of his own, which really means that in the last days, the people of Bilal would be awakened and they would lead the Arab back to the path of God that they had deviated from 3 generations after the prophet. The prophet passed. 1,000 years went on, and a new world was discovered by Europeans. You cannot deny that this Western Hemisphere is a completely new world. The United States of America, the greatest nation in the New World and the greatest nation in the world. America. A nation of 260 million people that comprise all the nations of the earth. A nation that has a corrupted understanding of the revelation of Musa and Isa. So you could say it is a nation that has never had divine guidance. Come on now, talk to me. Let's agree on truth. This book, Quran, was known in America because the first president, George Washington, was a Muslim shriner or Muslim son. And he knew the value of the book Quran because the Quran is a part of the secret order of the high Masonic order. When I first became a Muslim in the city of Boston, I went to the public library, and there in the rare book section, secret, I had to prove I was a Muslim before they would even allow me to take the Quran down and read it in the library, because this book was forbidden for the common American. True, true, true. I'm setting up a precondition. Our brothers from the East came. Some of them tried to teach us Islam and were imprisoned for trying to tell us about Allah. And many of our fathers that were brought into slavery were already Muslims. But they did not want any Islam in the Western Hemisphere. So they killed our parents to keep them from teaching Islam to the children. They separate the children from the parents. And you remember that old spiritual, couldn't hear nobody pray? Because as Muslims, there's a call. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Imagine on a plantation, separated from your children, and it's time for Salatul Fajr. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Our babies hear it. And then the baby will say, Allah, Allah, the name of the one true God. And the slave master would come, and any of the children that knew the name of Allah, they would be killed, so couldn't hear nobody pray. You're not to pass on to the slave this great natural faith. It was not to happen until a certain time. I appeal to you to reason with us. This man, Farad Muhammad, is a very unusual man from my vantage point. I never saw him. I only have a picture of him. And the picture I have of him, he's reading the Holy Quran. I guess he was telling us in that picture, study the book. Wait. When he came among us, listen to this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he was in America 20 years before he made himself known to Elijah Muhammad. What was he doing? I got to tell you something about him, because he's greatly misunderstood. And I love him. And I thank Allah for him. What do you mean you thank Allah for him? Didn't you all say he was Allah in person? Wait. Oh, beloved, misunderstanding of religion is one of the gravest things, because it puts us on a wrong course. We misunderstood a lot. Can I say this to you? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. And we were given lessons that we had to commit to memory. The questions were from Master